This is GoHuskies.com here with Zack Midles, a junior thrower on the Husky track and field team. Zack is going to the NCAA Track and Field Championships this coming week in Fayetteville, Arkansas. He qualified with a 4th place finish in the West Regional meet in the hammer throw. And Zack, first things first, you were in 6th place at the regional meet going into your 6th and final throw. You knew you needed to pass a couple people. You needed to have your best throw of the day. What was going through your mind before you went up for that last throw?
It was more placing than technique. I just wanted to get in there and get it done. It's obviously not the most ideal situation to have your final throw be your chance of going to nationals, but I was able to come through fortunately, and so I got in the ring and just tried to let it all out and tried to have a good time, and I passed a couple people in doing it, so I'm pretty thankful for that.
Were there any words of wisdom you were given? You had some family there and Coach Thurman. Were people giving you a few tips right before that last one, or words of encouragement? Yeah, my sisters were there, my mom and dad and my brother, and they were all just saying get it done. Rita said just go all out. I had fouled my first 2 in the final round, so it was kind of an adrenaline rush, but I was able to just take their advice and put it all into that last throw, and on the release of the hammer it just felt pretty good, and I was able to get it out there. Did it look good when it was going through the air in your mind?
I didn't hear any audience cheering, so I was thinking maybe it wasn't. It felt good, but I didn't hear anybody cheering. But I walked out of the ring and they measured it, and it was pretty far in terms of my distance this season. So it didn't feel good, but it ended up being good, so that's all right.
All right. And you, like you mentioned, you had a lot of family on hand. What did it mean to you? What did their support mean to be able to qualify in front of all your family?
It meant the world. I mean, my dad and my brother threw the hammer both in Pac-10 schools, and they were able to go to NCAAs, so I'm going to try to follow their footsteps, and I think my dad got the highest placing of 5th, so I'm going to try to get 4th and do what the family hasn't done before. But it's definitely a family event anytime there's a hammer throw, and so that's what I'm going to try to continue it at Nationals.
All right. And I guess just to talk a little bit about your preparation this final week before going to NCAAs.
Yeah, I'm just going to try to relax. It's going to be my first NCAA meet in college, and so I'll be looking forward to that. Just take some throws, let it feel nice. We're not going to go for any far throws in practice. We're just going to work on form, technique, and then hopefully when I rest a couple days before I throw at Nationals, it'll all come naturally. So that's kind of the preparation. Just take it easy, work the form and technique, and then at Nationals let the adrenaline take it from there.
All right. Now, last year for the Huskies were not represented by the throws group at the NCAA Championships, but this year you've got 4 people going, 2 on the men's side and 2 on the women's side. Can you just maybe talk a little bit about the progress that the throws group has made as a unit this year?
They've made great progress. It's definitely a different atmosphere this year. They're here and they're working hard when the practice starts to it ends. And we've got 4 this year. I predict we'll get 8 next year. It's definitely, we've got a lot of great throwers on the team. Brooke and Kyle on the javelin side, they're both ranked pretty high, and they're going to do great. You know, they're from Canada, so they bring some knowledge from there and what their coach did up there. And then Elisa Bryan is also a very strong. She's able to put that force into the hammer. So it's great, and to be able to go to NCAAs with 3 other of my teammates that I train with on a daily basis, it's a great feeling.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck in Arkansas next week.
Thank you very much.
This is GoHuskies.com here with senior men's pole vaulter Jared O'Connor. Jared is an All-American. He was the NCAA runner-up last year and will be back at the NCAA Championships this coming week in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Jared, could you just talk a little bit about how your season's gone thus far? You seem to be picking up momentum as in the last few meets.
I mean, this season is a lot different from last season. I know last year I struggled with consistency. I had some injuries. I had some injury issues earlier on in the outdoor season last year that prevented me from being really consistent. And then as it got towards the end, I PR'd and moved on to NCAAs and had success there. I feel that this season, I've been way more consistent, and I think that from where I'm at right now, I think there's still some heights to be had, and I think that I built a good base in going into NCAAs.
Now, when you're at the regional meet, you had to have a jump off for 5th place in the final automatic spot, although you were pretty much assured of going to NCAAs anyways. Yeah. But that last jump was a slight PR for you, and how good did it feel to just get that last spot, first jump, first clearance?
It's always nice when you can go out there and just beat people, in the spirit of competition. That's what regionals, that's what NCAAs, that's what Pac-10s is all about. And when you can go out there and, beat a guy that I know we've gone back and forth a fair amount in the indoor season and outdoor season, it's always fun. It was fun, definitely.
Now this year you'll be going to NCAAs along with Scott Roth. Andrea Peterson will also be there on the women's side. Just maybe talk a little bit about the pole vault group as a whole and how it will be to have another teammate at nationals with you this year.
I mean, our pole vault group this year, has just been great. It's all about momentum. Coach Metcalf loves to say that. It's all about momentum going into the postseason or, going into championship time. And realistically, I think that the vault squad has done a great job this year. I think that it has been all about momentum. I think that, my jumping, Scott's jumping, Ryan Vu, who unfortunately cannot go to nationals because he bummed his ankle and, had a bad trip at regionals. We've been feeding off each other. Andrea has had a great meet at regionals this last week. That got us all fired up. I think that, it is about momentum, and I think we've been doing a great job. And moving forward, I think we'll have a lot of success at NCAAs.
Okay, now your second place finish at NCAAs might have probably been a surprise to a lot of people last year, but now you're coming back and people know who you are at this point. Is there any added pressure at all this year, or are you really just going out there just seeing what you can do again?
It's my last season as a Husky athlete, and I think that for me it's just about having fun. I think that I perform best when I just loosen up and have a good time with it. I put in all the work thus far. I've worked hard this year, put in all the physical work. It's at nationals. It's all about being mentally tough. Last year, my second place finish was about being mentally tough on that day. The wind was adverse, and some guys dropped out of the competition. And, you just have to step it up in that case. And I think, maybe there might be a little bit of a target on my back from finishing second last year with some of the guys, but I don't think it's going to really, be a determination of, where my head's going to be at nationals.
All right. Well, we wish you the best of luck next week, and thank you.
Thank you very much.